Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, president and founder of Agiledad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Standup. And without any further ado, let's get started. I saw an article recently that made me crack up laughing, and someone sent it to me again and said, "You got to read this." And I thought it was just great. And it follows very much in the vein of the humor that I enjoy. So there's so many people ask me, "Lee, why do you do so many of the top 10 reasons or the top 5 reasons?" And, so many lists. And I think that sometimes the lists are, just really apropos, but other times I think the lists are a driver to help us just realize what we could or couldn't do. And it's just a short reminder of the things that we need to focus on. So this list for this Thursday is the top 5 reasons to never become a project manager or product manager. It's the top 5 reasons to not be a PM. You don't want to be a product manager. Okay. So number 1, right? No credit, just blame. Anytime somebody asks, whose fault is it if the product failed or the project failed? The answer is always ding, 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 the product manager, product owner, project manager. It's one of those 3, always. But if the product succeeds, who is responsible for the product succeeding? We'd like to pay tribute and thank the engineers, designers, testers, and management team that made this all possible. How true is that? It's your responsibility to make sure the product and feature is set up for success. But if it's not, you're going to hear about it. But if it is, you never do. It's just too crazy. So if you ship a product and you find it sings, congratulations, to know it is your fault. That's good stuff. Number 2, no certainty, just ambiguity. All right. As an engineer, you can write some code, compile it, test it, know with reasonable certainty if it's going to work or not. Oh, it's just so nice. But what you do as a product manager is drive innovation forward. And the only way to do that is to embrace uncertainty. But for engineers to deliver code that works by some definition, you have to give them the impression that you are certain it's the right code to write, even though you really aren't. So you have to try and eliminate uncertainty as much as possible. But, product managers aren't often good at that. They bring pretend clarity, if you will, to the situation because there's no right answer in the land of innovation. Wow, that is so true, right? It's just when you find people who are trying to innovate and you find product managers, they're really struggling to get through. I'm not making this sound too glorious, am I? I'm making it sound like a job you never want to do. How about this one? Number 3, there's no clear end to your workday, just a decision of what time to stop working. Wow. There's always more you can do as a product manager. More like what? How about data analysis, user research, competitive analysis, revisiting your specifications, using your product and writing up defects or things that you find that aren't working the spec, polishing your next pitch deck for the leadership team, doing networking, relationship building, reading about business, leadership, influence, and whatever else on the list we forgot, attending meetings, doing reviews, all that good stuff. The point I'm trying to make is there's no done. I love it, right? Whenever you decide you're done, you're really not done. So true. Number 4, no perfection, just shipping. You want the product to be perfect, but to give further than a feature list and fix more bugs, you have more to polish and always more to eliminate. And the more flaws you see, it's just this vicious cycle, right? But at some point, you need to ship it. You need to put a stick in the ground and say, we're going to ship this thing. And anytime you do it, you find that it feels too soon. And, you're always questioning yourself. Would it have been better if I waited, right? Would it be better if we waited and did a little more? And you need to make that hard call to trim the tail, to stop in spite of that feeling. And almost, it almost hurts you. It pains you because either way you decide, it's the wrong decision. It's either too soon or too late. And you guessed it. See item number 1, which is no credit, just blame. Wow. How about number 5? No sympathy or appreciation, just people wanting more from you. Last but certainly not least in this list, if you're a product manager and you want sympathy from somebody or appreciation for all your hard work, all the things above are just not designed to be understood by everybody else you work with. Everybody tends to think that your job is easy. You just brainstorm the ideas. I've even heard some people say a product manager is completely unnecessary. Designers think you're just there to organize things and to talk on behalf of their team. On the opposite end of the spectrum, the engineers demand instant decisions to very complex problems. And if you change your mind, Oh no. Hopefully, because of significant new data, they act as if you failed as a product manager. You can't make a decision on what you want. And they're completely oblivious to the fact that you're doing constant innovating, and the nature of innovation is ambiguity. So, congratulations, because you're the big picture thinker surrounded by detail-oriented, left-brained engineers. They live in a black and white world, and you live in a gray one. You understand how much the strategic people need implementers to get the work done, but the implementers don't understand what they need, why they need strategy, and have no appreciation. Designers are usually a big picture like you, but they don't realize that many decisions make the most. They make the most in products. Are things the users can't see, again, yielding no appreciation. And while this list, of course, is extremely exaggerated, the truth is you need to be in a position where you can handle all the negatives. You need to be in a position where you can rectify things that are going on. You need to be able to catch feedback and constructive criticism from every angle. And if you can successfully do all these things, congratulations, you've passed the first test to become a product manager. And while it doesn't glorify the job, it does kind of bring to light some of the things that people listened to this or saw this and said, hey, that's a good point. So I wanted to bring it up as a reminder that product manager is probably the most fulfilling job you could ever have. It really is, a product owner, but it's also the most challenging. So with great power comes great responsibility. With great challenge comes great reward. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Daily Stand-Up Podcast. I know I did. If you have an idea for something you want on a Daily Stand-Up, send us an email. Learn more at agiledad.com. We'd love to explore your idea and get it published. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.